It's such a pleasant afternoon and a significant one because Tiger's back on the range. There he is with Charlie, head to toe in black. And he's been out there now about 20, 25 minutes with the legendary Lee Trevino, just hitting shots, talking about the game. Enjoyed our conversation with Padraig Harrington. And on his way out, I thought he made an excellent point. He said Charlie loves golf because it gives him access to his dad, just his dad alone. Well, that's something right there. That and some of the other legends of this game with more on young Charlie. Let's bring in Todd Lewis, who's been following it all day long.
Well, Tiger's a pretty good player. I mean, we've talked about that, and I spoke with his caddy, who is Joe LaCava Jr., by the way. Yes, it is a father-son event for the LaCavas out here with Big Joe on Tiger's bag. And I asked him specifically off the tee about what is his distance, and he said he's not quite at 250 yards off the tee at the age of 12, but he's pretty close. He says he can get out there about 240. But what I was amazed in watching Charlie do today, Rich, I followed him through most of his program round. He has got great touch at about 70 to 100 yards, and it's really, really strong. So I love what he has got through the bag, talking with Mike Thomas, who is Justin Thomas's father, and also his swing coach part of the time, Charlie's swing coach. He says he's got just about every shot in the bag. It's just a matter of him maturing throughout the golf course and not hitting the shots that he doesn't need to hit. I thought it was a really cool moment, a father-son moment after the Pro-Am. Tiger came out where Charlie was hitting balls, and he threw his bag down, and he leaned up against his bag, laid on the ground actually, and he told Charlie, quote, "Hit any shot you want, just make sure it's pin high." So Tiger's not really an overbearing teacher/father, but he is there for him, and they are having a great time, Rich.
Yeah, thanks, Todd. Cookie, what we say over and over is we watched the Pro-Am coverage today. Charlie's hole high, a lot.
That is tournament golf, professional level 101. Randall, you know, I mean, that was one of the very first things I learned from Ken Venturi is we're going to learn to hit it hole high. I don't care what club you hit. Don't care how far you are, hole high.
But that speaks more to just than strategy, because obviously you got to hit it right on the button to get it hole high. You got to choose the right club, not try to get too much out of a club, and that speaks to playing within yourself. But from a conservative standpoint, nobody was ever more conservative than that man right there, Tiger. You can say the same thing about Jack. Ben Hogan, I think someone recently posted a similar quote of Hogan, and then when you look at Kathy Whitworth, who won more tournaments than any other player, male or female on the earth, 88 of them on the LPGA Tour, she has a chapter in her book, a great little book. It's almost like Harvey Pennick's Little Red book. And in it, she just talks about the importance of hitting it hole high and the importance of playing conservative golf. But you know how, when you're really good, when you're cocky and you're young, and you think, I'm going to shoot at everything.
Yeah.
And the game will give you some painful lessons that way. So this is like fast pace. This is like Cliff Notes version of tour golf.
Yeah, hitting some short shots now, but Tiger did talk about this new driver. Todd Lewis has more on that. Todd?
Yeah, first I want to talk about the entire day in regards to Tiger Woods. Try to notice three things. Number one, when Tiger's making his comeback, is how is he walking? He did not have a significant limp this morning, but as the day progressed, that limp did become more noticeable. Then I look at his attitude. He was engaged with not only his amateur partners, but also with the fans, and smiling, taking a few pictures. So he was definitely in the moment here at the Ritz-Carlton during the Pro-Am. And then you look at the golf swing. It looked pretty good to me. It wasn't too far off. I feel like, when you talk to the Hero World Challenge, it kind of reminded me of Lou Holtz when he was coaching Notre Dame, when he would always say, hey, we're lucky to be on the same football field as Bowling Green. They are talented. I felt like I was being hustled a bit because what I saw today was a pretty good Tiger Woods, especially with the driver. He's excited about this driver. You heard him rather talk about it during his press conference. He can move the ball, he feels like, more with this driver, with the weight more towards the face of the golf club. And secondly, he was hitting it pretty good. He had some speed with that driver on the 11th hole. I did go out and measure his drive, which was at 320 yards. So all in all, a very good day for Tiger Woods coming out here. And in my opinion, and I heard you guys talking about it on the desk there, maybe a little better than we expected after hearing what he was saying at the Hero World Challenge, Rich.
All right, Todd, thanks. You like this scene, don't you, Randall?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, just a minute ago, they were synced up when they absolutely took it back the same speed. The ball left the same trajectory and reached its apex and fell down. I don't know how you could link it up better than that.
You mentioned Lou Holtz. I always think of the funny Lou Holtz story he told about playing golf with Arnold Palmer. He was nervous. He didn't play well. And after the round, he said, Arnold, I'm terribly sorry. I've never played that poorly before. And Arnold said, oh, you played before? By the way, Arnold had so much to do with the success of this event and so much else in golf.